The question states here that if ax plus by plus is equal to c and x cos alpha plus y sin alpha is equal to p represent the same line, then find p in terms of a, b, and c. So given equations are ax plus by is equal to c. Call this one, and x cos alpha plus y sin alpha is equal to p. Let's call, uh, let's not call this one. In fact, take everything on the right hand side, that is ax plus by. Take everything on the left hand side, in fact, minus c is equal to 0, and x cos alpha plus y sin alpha minus p is equal to 0. Now call this 1 and 2. Now if these two lines are identical, if 1 and 2 are identical, as I told you, if you remember yesterday, that the coefficients must be proportional. Okay, so here if you see in the first equation, the coefficient of x is a, so we write a, and the coefficient of uh, uh, x here is cos alpha, okay, is equal to coefficient of y is b, and the coefficient of y here is sin alpha, and the coefficient and the constant term is c, and here it is, in fact it is minus c and minus p, so it will cancel actually. Okay, so therefore you can write this as cos alpha by a is equal to sin alpha by b is equal to p by c. Now the question is find p in terms of a, b, and c. Now if we know that these two equations represent the same straight line or they are identical, then how will you express p in terms of a, b, and c? Now we have cos alpha by a must be equal to p by c, taking the first and the third equality. And you must also have sin alpha by b must be equal to p by c, right? So from here you can get the value of cos alpha. Cos alpha is ap by c, and you can get sin alpha as bp by c. Now if you want to express alpha in terms of p in terms of a, b, and c, you don't want alpha there, right? So you want to remove alpha. So how to remove alpha? So you know that cos square alpha plus sine square alpha is equal to 1. This relation will help you remove alpha between these two. Okay, so that means put the values here. ap by c square plus bp by c square is equal to 1. So that means you have a square b square by c square plus b square b square by c square is equal to 1. That means you can take the LCM, a square p square plus b square p square divided by c square is equal to 1. Now you cross multiply, you will get and take p square common, you will get p square into a square plus b square is equal to c square, which is the required relation. Right? No questions on this? And we'll move on to the next problem then. Which is number 4. Question here is, are the points on the same side or on opposite sides of the line? Now this already I've shown you, right? The given points are 2, 3 and 1, 3. And the straight line is x minus 2y plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, I've brought minus 3 on the other side. So now how to check whether these 2 points are on the same side or on the opposite side? So what you do here is you put the value of x and y. Suppose for the point 2, 3, you put x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3 on the left hand side of this equation. Putting x is equal to 2, y is equal to 3 in the LHS of, let us call this equation number 1. In the LHS of 1, we get 2 minus 2 into 3 plus 3. Now we only need the sign of this, right? The 2 minus 6 plus 3. So this is 5 minus 6, which is obviously less than 0, right? For the point 1, 3, putting x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 3 in the LHS of 1. We get, put it here, you have 1 minus 2 into 3 plus 3, which is 1 minus 6 plus 3. Now here again, this is negative. That means you see both the signs here are negative, right? That means they must be on the same side. Hence, 2, 3 and 1, 3 are on the same side. The same side of 1. That's it. Okay. Moving on to the next problem here is an important problem, that is find the angle between two straight lines. Finding angle between two straight lines, you have I don't think you have done in class 10, and I think I have used the formula also earlier in solving one problem, but I have not found the angle between the straight line. Neither have I told you what actually you mean by angle between the straight lines. So let's see what you actually mean by angle between the straight lines. Let's draw these two straight lines. These two are intersecting straight lines. Okay. Now, how many angles are possible between these two straight lines? That is what we must see. So first of all, this angle is possible between the straight lines, right? What is the other angle that is possible between the straight lines? This angle is possible between the straight lines, right? This is also an angle between the straight lines. This angle is possible between the straight lines, right? And what else? Which other angle is possible between the straight lines? This angle is also possible between the straight lines, right? So there, in fact, there are 4 angles that are possible between the straight lines. So let us find out those 4 angles. So first of all, let's write down the equation of the lines. X minus 2y plus 1 is equal to 0, and x plus 3y minus 2 is equal to 0. And you have same here, x minus 2y plus 1 is equal to 0, and you have x plus 3y minus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so the given lines are the equations here are x minus 2y plus 1 is equal to 0, call this 1, and you have x plus 3y minus 2 is equal to 0, call this equation number 2. Now we want to find out the slope. What is the angle between the straight lines? If you remember the formula, tan psi or tan theta is equal to plus or minus m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 m2. That was the formula. So we would require the slope of the two straight lines. Okay, so let's find out the slope. What is the slope of one? M1 minus coefficient of x. In 1, if you see, the coefficient of x here is 1. So minus of plus 1 divided by coefficient of y. Coefficient of y here is minus 2 in 1. So slope is half. And slope of m2, slope of equation 2 in fact, m2 is equal to minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of y. So you have 1 minus 1/3 as your slope. Okay. So if psi be the angle between the straight lines, or you can take theta also, the angle between the straight lines. Therefore, tan psi, we write it as plus or minus m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 m2. Okay. You put the values of m1 and m2 here. So you get plus or minus m1 is half, m2 is minus 1/3 divided by 1 plus m1 m2 half into minus 1/3. Right. You can simplify this to get 1. Okay. Leave the plus or minus. Don't look at the sign right now. Okay. So you simplify the expression within the curly brackets. You will get 1. So you get plus or minus 1. So you have two cases. Case 1. When tan psi is equal to plus 1. So what do you get? Here tan psi is equal to tan 45 degree, right? So that means theta here is 45 degree. One angle you have got. So let's say this angle is 45 degree. This angle you have got acute angle 45 degree. Fine. So this is one. This is, and of course you are getting this solution in the first quadrant, right? Also, in which quadrant is tan positive? In which quadrant is tan positive? Anyone? Tan
Sir, in the third quadrant.
third quadrant. So now we have got a solution in the first quadrant. We now look for a solution in the third quadrant, right? The third quadrant, how do we take this to the third quadrant? So this is 2 into 90 degree plus 45. Now this angle is in the third quadrant, right? Even multiple because we want to keep tan. So that means that means tan psi must be equal to tan of, I think, 225. So that means psi must be equal to 225 degree. Okay, so you have got another angle. And which angle do you think you have got this? You have got this as your 225 degree. Fine. So this was case 1. Case 2, let us now take the negative sign. When tan psi is equal to minus 1. Now here tan is negative, right? So tan psi is equal to minus 1 means tan psi is equal to minus tan 45. That means tan psi is equal to tan minus 45. But we cannot have a negative angle, right? So therefore, in which quadrant is tan negative? Tan is negative in the second quadrant, right? So we look for a solution in the second quadrant. How do we take it to the second quadrant? 2 into 90 degree minus 45 degree, right? So this gives you tan of 135, right? So we get psi is equal to 135 degree. So this angle here should be 135. Okay.
Sir,
Now,
tan is also negative in the fourth quadrant.
yes, I'm coming to that. But you're getting this right as 135 degree. Now, very interesting to see here that see here you have got 45 degree and see here you have got 135 degree. These two angles in a straight line. So just to check whether you have got the right answer, the sum of these two must be equal to 180 degree. Okay, so 135 plus 45 must be equal to 180. Also, tan psi is equal to minus 1 means start from minus 45 is equal to tan of minus 45 degree means tan psi. Now we look for a solution in the fourth quadrant, right? Fourth quadrant means 4 into 90 degree minus 45 degree, which is equal to tan of 315 degree. So therefore you get you get psi is equal to 315 degree. So which angle here is 315 degree? This angle here is 315 degree. Okay, so that's it. These are the four angles that we have got. Any questions on this problem?
No, sir.
Fine. We move on to the next section then, which is on concurrency, intersection of straight lines and concurrency of straight lines. Okay. Now you already know what you need to know here is that only need to know the definition of concurrency. So what do you mean by concurrent straight lines? Two or more straight lines are said to be concurrent. Two or more straight lines are said to be concurrent if they have a common point of intersection. If they have a common point of intersection. How will it look like? Two straight lines can have a point of intersection in this way, but they have to be concurrent. Okay, what about three straight lines? Three straight lines can also be concurrent. This is a three concurrent straight lines. They have a common point of intersection. Okay, here for two straight lines, this is a common point of intersection. Even four straight lines can have common point of intersection. This is a common point of intersection. Okay, these four straight lines are said to be concurrent. Okay, so here if L1 and L2, if I call them, then L1 and L2 are concurrent. At which point? They are concurrent at P. If I call this L1, L2, L3, we say L1, L2 and L3 are concurrent at P. Similarly here, you have four straight lines here. Let us call them L1, L2, L3, L4. So L1, L2, L3 and L4 are concurrent at P. Fine. So you can have any number of straight lines that are concurrent. Okay. So once we know the definition of concurrency, we shall move on to the problems on concurrency. And of course, you already know that how to get the point of intersection of two straight lines. We solve the two equations simultaneously to get the point of intersection of the straight lines. You already know this, right? So number one, find the area of a triangle formed by the lines. This. Okay, so let's draw a triangle here. Let us say that the straight lines here are y plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. This is one straight line. It's called this triangle ABC. And let us say that this equation is 3y is equal to 5x plus 2, right? And let us say that the third here is 3y minus x plus 2 is equal to 0. So they have see that this line and this line intersect at A. Okay, again this line and this line intersect at B, and this line and this line intersect at C. Okay, so I start by saying let the equation of the sides be, let's say AB, equation of the side AB is y plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. Say equation of the side BC is 3y. You can take any way you want. Okay, it does not matter. So AC is 3y is equal to 5x plus 2. Okay, or you can write it in a general way. AB is x plus y minus 6 is equal to 0. BC you can write as minus x plus 3y plus 2 is equal to 0. And you can write the side AC as 5x minus 3y plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay. Now since we have got these, let's call this 1, let's call this 2, and let us call this 3. Now how to get the point A? We solve, if you see, point A is the intersection of this line and this line, that is AB and AC. If we solve 1 and 3, you will get A, right? So let us solve 1 and 3 first. Solving 1 and 3. You know how to solve simultaneous equation. I don't need to show you. Solving 1 and 3, we get. So here you will get the coordinates of A as in fact, which side have we taken here? Okay, 1 and 3 we have taken, right? Okay, so we get x is equal to 2 and you will get y is equal to 4. So therefore coordinates of A will be 2, 4, right? Next, what you do is you solve. If you see here in this coordinates of B, in order to get the coordinates of B, you need to solve this equation and you need to solve this equation. Okay, so solving which equation? AB for AB and BC. So that means 1 and 2. Solving 1 and 2, we get x is equal to 5 and you'll get y is equal to 1. Therefore, coordinates of B is 5, 1. Okay, what is left? Solving solving 2 and 3. 2 and 3, we get, if you see, if you solve 2 and 3, what are 2 and 3? 2 and 3 are sides of BC and AC. So we'll get the coordinates of C. We get x is equal to -1 and you get y is equal to -1. For coordinates of C here is -1, -1. Okay, so we have got the coordinates of A, B, and C. Now, what is the question here? Find the area of this triangle. Once you get the coordinates of A, B, and C, how to find out the area of the triangle? The usual manner, you list down the coordinates first. So here, what are the coordinates of A? 2, 4. Coordinates of B, 5, 1. And coordinates of C, -1, -1. Okay, so 2, 4, 5, 1, -1, -1, and then again x1, y1. So hence area of triangle ABC is equal to half of, plus or minus, in fact, plus or minus half of, first you multiply this 2 minus 20 plus, now you multiply these two, you get -5 plus 1. Okay, now you multiply these two, plus -4 plus 2. Okay, so you get here plus or minus half of, you simplify this within the brackets, you'll get -24, which is equal to plus or minus of -12. Which sign should I take? Taking negative sign, because the area cannot be negative. We get area of triangle ABC is equal to 12 square units. Fine. Any question?
No, sir.
We'll move on to the next problem then. Question number 2. the question states here that the vertices of A, B, and C are the vertices of triangle A, B, and C are these. Write down the equation of BC and perpendicular from A to BC, and hence the coordinates of the foot of the perpendicular. Okay, so what you do here is draw the triangle ABC, write down the coordinates. A is given to be 0, 5, B is given to be -1, -2, C is given to be 11, 7. Okay, so question here is write down the equation of the perpendicular from A to BC. So draw a perpendicular from A to BC. Okay, let us call this point M. Okay, so we need to find out the equation of AM. Fine. How do you find out the equation of AM? First of all, you see that AM is perpendicular to BC. So let us first find out the slope of BC. Slope of BC is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So let us call this M1. Slope of BC, let us call this M1, is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 will be okay, we need to find out the equation of BC in fact first. Okay, because they are asking for the coordinates of M also. So let's find out the equation of BC. Equation of BC. 2-point form, you know 2 points. Let's find out the equation. Y minus y1 is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 into x minus x1. Okay, so this will be, if you simplify this will come to 3x plus 4y minus 5 is equal to 0. So we now know the equation of BC. So what should be the slope of BC? You can find out from the equation only. So slope of BC is minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of y. Let us call this M1. M1 is equal to minus 3,4. So what should be the slope of AM? Therefore, slope of AM, negative reciprocal of the slope of BC, right? M2 is equal to minus 1 by M1, which is minus 4/3. So what is the slope of, you know the slope of AM now. So you know the slope of this line, and you also know 1 point in this. So what should be the equation of AM? Therefore, equation of AM, y minus, what is the point here? Y1 is this one, 5, is equal to M2, slope of AM, into x minus x1. X1 here is 0. Okay. So you get y minus 5 is equal to minus 4/3 x minus into x only. Okay. So you can simplify this and get the equation of this as 4x plus 3y minus 15 is equal to 0. So I've got the equation of AM also, right? That was the first part of the question. First part of the question, equation of BC. We have found out the equation of BC. Perpendicular from and the perpendicular from A to BC, that is AM, right? So we have found out the equation of AM also. The second part is also done. And they are also asking you to find out the coordinates of the foot of the perpendicular, that is the coordinates of M. What is M? M is the point of intersection of BC and AM, right? So we solve these two equations that we have got. So let's call this equation of BC as 1 and let us call this as 2. So solving 1 and 2, we get, you can solve it on your own. We'll get x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 1. So therefore, what are the coordinates of M? Coordinates of M would be 3, 1, because M is the point of intersection of AM and BC. Clear with this problem? Any question? Then moving on to the next problem. Next problem here is number 3. 2 we have already finished. Number 3. Find the equation of the straight line passing through the point of intersection of the two lines and parallel to the straight line. Okay. Now, this yeah, I forgot to mention one thing before the starting of this exercise. There's something more you should know. Okay, just note this down. That two parallel lines will always have equation in the form, will always have their equations in the form ax plus by plus c1 is equal to 0 and ax plus by plus c2 is equal to 0. I think I mentioned this earlier also. Now we'll use this. If you see these two equations, the coefficient of x and y are same. The coefficient of ax is same and the coefficient of y is also same. So we can say that these two straight lines are parallel. Just by looking at the equations, we can say that the straight lines are parallel. Okay. Now what do equation of two perpendicular lines look like? Two perpendicular lines will always have equations in the form. First equation you can take normal ax plus by plus c1 is equal to 0. And the next equation when you take, remember, the coefficient of y will become the coefficient of x. So you have dx. And the coefficient of x will become the coefficient of y, but with the sign changed and with another constant term c. Is this clear to everyone? Let's
Yes,
take an
sir.
example. Let us take an example. Suppose I give you a straight line 5x minus 2y plus 1 is equal to 0. So what any perpendicular straight line to this line will look like? Any straight line um, perpendicular to the above line will be of the form what will be? So you from the coefficient of y will become the coefficient of x, so minus 2x. Coefficient of x will become the coefficient of y, but with the sign change. So you have a plus 5 here, you'll get a minus 5y, and the constant term will be different. Let us take k is equal to 0. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So this you must know before solving this problem. So let us very quickly solve this problem once we know this concept. Question here is find the equation of the straight line passing through the point of intersection of the lines and parallel to the straight line. So the given lines are, let's list down the lines first. The given lines are x plus 2y plus 3 is equal to 0. Call this 1. And 3x plus 4y plus 7 is equal to 0. And you have y minus, let's write it in the general form here also. Let's write the x first. So minus x plus y minus 8 is equal to 0. It's equation number 3. Now you need to find an equation which passes through the point of intersection of 1 and 2 and which is also parallel to this line. So I start by saying let the equation of the line parallel to 3 of the straight line parallel to 3 be. Now you know that any equation of the parallel line will have the coefficient of x same, the coefficient of y same, but they will only differ in the constant. So let's take this as c1 is equal to 0. Okay. Now what you do is that it passes through the point of intersection of 1 and 2, right? So you solve 1 and 2. So solving 1 and 2, we get, if you solve these two, you'll get x is equal to minus 1 and you'll get y is equal to minus 1. Therefore, point of intersection of 1 and 2 is -1 and -1. This is the point of intersection of 1 and 2. Now you need to find an equation which is which passes through the point of intersection of these two lines and which is parallel to this line. And parallel to this line, you already know that this is the line that is parallel to 3. Or you also know that it passes through -1, -1. So since, let us call this equation 4. Since 4 passes through -1, -1, therefore it must satisfy this equation. So minus of -1 plus -1 plus C1 is equal to 0. So that means we get here 1 -1 plus C1 is equal to 0. That means you get C1 is equal to 0, right? So what is the required line? And required equation of the line parallel to 3 and passing through the point of intersection of 1 and 2. Is from 4, what do we get? Minus x plus y plus 0 is equal to 0. That means what is the line? Y minus x is equal to 0. This is the equation of the straight line. Clear with this problem or any question you have?
No, sir. Clear.
So we can solve 4 on in the very same way. Okay, so that I will show you tomorrow. Fine. So that's it. I'll stop here. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you.